Hello dear students, welcome to Sri Nyansagar Coaching Classes YouTube channel. To get latest videos, please subscribe this channel. Today I am going to explain you Unit 2.5 Let's March. This is a speech given by Kailash Satyarthi on the eve of Nobel Prize distribution. See its explanation.
Unit 2.5 Let's March. Observe the picture and answer. Here are two pictures. A. Observe the picture and answer. Mean the difference between two images. In the first, the little boy is working at a construction site, and in the second, the boy is going to school. B. Change required. The boy in the first picture should not work but go to school. C. Your contribution as a student to help and make difference to needy children. I donate my old books, school bags, etc. to needy children. Put a tick mark. A good speech delivered requires the following characteristics. You have to put a tick mark, wrong or right. Well planned and thoughts well organized, correct. Delivered softly in a low voice, wrong. Speaker need not grate the dignitaries and audience, wrong. Language used should be suitable to the audience, correct. Speech should be of a proper duration, correct. Speaker should be passive and have no facial expression, wrong. Speech should be supported by good examples, episodes, visual aids where possible, correct. Speaker should switch over from one language to another, wrong. Here are some expressions. I have put them according to their category. Greetings are in greetings column, introduction, body of the speech, conclusion, and thanking the audience. These are the expressions and I have put them in the proper order. Question 4. With the help of your teacher and classmates, make a list of as many Indian Nobel Laureates winners as you can. Name: Rabindranath Tagore, Nobel Prize for Literature. C.V. Raman, Nobel Prize for Physics. Har Gobind Khurana, Nobel Prize for Medicine. Mother Teresa, Nobel Prize for Peace. Now, let's listen the speech. Before going further, I want to tell you the background of the speaker, the writer. Kailash Satyarthi was born in 1954, is an Indian children's rights and education advocate and an activist against child labor. He founded the Bachpan Bachao Andolan in 1980 and has acted to protect the rights of more than 83,000 children across 144 countries. He is honored with many awards including Nobel Peace Prize of 2014. He had addressed this speech on the eve of Nobel Prize distribution. Now listen the speech carefully. But first, my dear children of the world, your majesties, your royal highnesses, excellencies, distinguished members of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, dear brother Tom Harking, brothers and sisters, and my dear daughter Malala. From this podium of peace and humanity, I am deeply honored to recite a mantra from the ancient texts of wisdom, Vedas. This mantra carries a prayer, an aspiration, and a resolve that has the potential to liberate humanity from all man-made crises. Let's work together in the pursuit of global progress. Not a single person should be left out or left behind in any corner of the world, from east to west, from south to north. Let's speak together. Let our minds come together, learning from the experiences of our ancestors. Let us together create knowledge for all that benefits all. I bow to my late parents, my motherland, India, and to the Mother Earth. With a warm heart, I recall how thousands of times I have been liberated. Each time I have freed a child from slavery. In the first smile of freedom on their beautiful faces, I see the gods smiling. I give the biggest credit of this honor to my movements Kallu Kumar, Dhumdas and Adarsh Kishore from India and Iqbal Masih from Pakistan, who made the supreme sacrifice for protecting the freedom and dignity of children. I humbly accept this award on behalf of all such martyrs, my fellow activists across the world, and my countrymen. My journey from the great land of Lord Buddha, Guru Nanak, and Mahatma Gandhi, India to Norway, is a connect between two centers of global peace and brotherhood, ancient and modern. Friends, the Nobel Committee has generously invited me to present a lecture. Respectfully, I am unable to do that because I am representing here the sound of silence, the cry of innocence, and the face of invisibility. I represent millions of those children who are left behind, and that's why I have kept an empty chair here as a reminder. I have come here only to share the voices and dreams of our children because they are all our children. I have looked into their frightened and exhausted eyes. I have held their injured bodies and felt their broken spirits. 20 years ago, in the foothills of Himalayas, I met a small skinny child laborer. He asked me, "Is the world so poor at it cannot give me a toy and a book instead of forcing me to take a gun or a tool?" I met with a Sudanese child soldier. He was kidnapped by extremist militia. As his first training lesson, he was forced to kill his friends and family. He asked me, "What is my fault?" Friends, all the great religions teach us to care for our children. Jesus said, "Let the children come to me. Do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to them." The Holy Quran says, "Kill not your children because of poverty." Friends, there is no greater violence than to deny the dreams of our children. Therefore, I refuse to accept that all the temples and mosques and churches and prayer houses have no place for the dreams of our children. I refuse to accept that the world is so poor when just 1 week of global military expenditure can bring all the children to the classrooms. I refuse to accept all the laws and constitutions, police and judges are unable to protect our children. I refuse to accept that the shackles of slavery can ever be stronger than to quest for freedom. I refuse to accept here. My only aim in life is that every child is free to be a child, free to grow and develop, free to eat, sleep, and see daylight, free to laugh and cry, free to play and learn, free to go to school, and above all, free to dream. I have the privileges of working with my many courageous people who have the same aim. We have never given up against any threat or attack, or we never will. We have made progress in the last couple of decades. We have reduced the number of out of school going children by half. We have reduced the number of child laborers by a third. We have reduced the child mortality and malnutrition. We have prevented millions of child deaths. But let us make no mistake, great challenges still remain. Friends, the biggest challenge or biggest crisis knocking on the doors of the mankind is fear and intolerance. We have utterly failed our children in imparting an education that gives the meaning and objective of life, an education that gives a sense of global citizenship among the youth. I am afraid that the day is not very far away when a culminative result of this failure will culminate in an unprecedented violence, and that will be suicidal for humankind. Rights, security, hope can be restored through education. Young people like Malala, I have started calling her my daughter Malala, not just Malala. So my daughter Malala and my daughters including Kayanat, in fact two Kayanats, and Sajia, and the daughters from Africa and from all over the world, they are rising up, choosing peace over the violence, tolerance over extremism, and courage over fear. The solutions are emerging, but these solutions cannot be found in the deliberations in conferences alone, and cannot be found in prescriptions from distance. They lie in small groups and local organizations and individuals who are confronting with the problem every day. Even if they remain unacknowledged, unrecognized, and unknown to the world, the solution are with them. Part second. We can do it. You may ask that. What can one person do? I would recall a story from my childhood. A heavy fire had broken out in the forest. All the animals were running away, including lion, the king of forest. Suddenly, then he saw a tiny bird rushing towards the fire. He asked the bird, "What are you doing?" The lion, surprised. The bird replied, "I am going to extinguish the fire." The lion laughed and said, "How can you do it keeping just one drop of water in your beak?" The bird was adamant, and she said, "I am doing my bit." 18 years ago, millions of individuals marched across the globe and demanded a new international law for the abolition of worst form of child labor, and it has happened. We did it. Millions of individuals did it. Friends, we live in an age of rapid globalization. We are connected through high-speed internet. We exchange our goods and services in one single global market. Thousands of flights every day connect us from one corner to another corner of the globe. But there is one serious disconnect, and there is a lack of compassion. Let us inculcate and transform these individuals' compassion into a global compassion. Let us globalize compassion. Mahatma Gandhi said, "If we are to teach real peace in this world, we shall have to begin with the children." I humbly add, let us unite the world through the compassion of our children. I ask, whose children are they who stitch footballs yet never played with one? Whose children are they who harvest cocoa yet never tasted chocolate? Whose children are they who are dying of Ebola? Whose children are they who are kidnapped and held hostage? They are all our children. I remember an 8-year-old girl who rescued from intergenerational forced labor from stone quarries. When she was sitting in my car right after her rescue, she asked me, "Why did you not come earlier?" Her angry question still shakes me and has the power to shake the whole world. Her question is for all of us. What are we doing? What are we waiting for? How many girls we will allow to go without a rescue? Children are questioning our inaction and watching our actions. We need a collective actions with a sense of urgency. Every single minute matters, every single child matters, every single childhood matters. Therefore, I challenge the passivity and pessimism surrounding our children. I challenge this culture of silence and this culture of passivity, this culture of neutrality. I call upon all the governments, intergovernmental agencies, businesses, faith level leaders, workers, teachers, and NGOs, and each one of us to put an end to all forms of violence against children, slavery, trafficking, child marriages, child labor, sexual abuse, and illiteracy. These things have no place in any civilized society. Friends, we can do this. Governments must make child friendly policies and invest in education and young people. Businesses must be more responsible, accountable, and open to innovative partnerships. Intergovernmental agencies must work together to accelerate action. Global civil society must rise above the business as usual and fragmented agendas. Faith leaders and institutions and all of us must stand with our children. We must be bold, we must be ambitious, and we must have the will. We must keep our promises. Over 50 years ago, on the first day of my school, I met a cobbler boy, my age, sitting outside the gate of my school. I asked my teachers, "Why is he working outside? Why is he not with us in the school?" My teachers had no answer. One day, I gathered the courage to ask the boy's father. He said, "Sir, I have never thought about it. We are born to work." His answer made me angry. It still makes me angry. As a child, I had a vision of tomorrow. a vision of that cobbler boy sitting with me in the classroom. Now that tomorrow has become today, I am today and you are today. Today, it is a time for every child to have a right to life, a right to freedom, a right to health, right to education, right to safety, right to dignity, right to equality, and right to peace. Today, beyond the darkness, I see the smiling faces of our children in the blinking stars. Today, in every wave of every ocean, I see my children are playing and dancing. Today, in every plant, in every tree and mountain, I see our children growing freely with dignity. Friends, I want you to see and feel this today inside you. My dear sisters and brothers, as I said, many interesting things are happening today. May I please request you to put your hand close to your heart, close your eyes, and feel the child inside you. I am sure you can. Now listen, that child. Listen, please. Today, I see thousands of Mahatma Gandhis, Nelson Mandelas, and Martin Luther Kings calling on us. Let us democratize knowledge. Let us universalize knowledge. Together, let us globalize compassion. I call upon you in this room and all across the world. I call for a march from exploitation to education. I call for a march from poverty to shared prosperity, a march from slavery to liberty, and a march from violence to peace. Let us march from ignorance to awakening. Let us march from darkness to light. Let us march from mortality to divinity. Let us march. I hope you like this speech. Thank you.